Hey everybody, Joel here, and I've got some of my great colleagues here. I've got Roger, Blake, and Jill. The reason for that is they're a new pair of eyes on this whole amazing now lifestyle opportunity, and that way they can just right off the cuff ask questions because it's all here in my brain, but I want to make sure that it's clear for all you guys as well, okay? So there's two huge components to now lifestyle. There's obviously people who will come in as just customers. They'll want the health and wellness, which I'll explain. They might want the autoresponder. They might want one of the now Lifestyle University products or the Ascension products. And then there's others that are going to fall in love with the product so much that they're going to want to resell those products, right? So let's talk, because I know most of you are business builders, let's talk about the reseller aspect of this first. So right now, to pre-enroll as a reseller is $49 per year, okay? When we go to the general public or at any time, it's going to go up to $99 per year to become a reseller. That is not commissionable, okay, guys? In network marketing, you cannot pay commissions to incentivize people to become resellers. It's against the law. You can only pay commissions based on consumer or customer products, okay? That's why there is no commissions on the reseller license. Plus, you're going to see that this compensation plan is so lucrative that this just helps us with a few things. So a lot of people say, well, why am I going to be paying the $49 per year as a reseller? Well, that maintains all your websites and all your affiliate pages, okay? It also gives you, this is very unique, your own LCS, which stands for Lead Capture System, okay? Just the Lead Capture System alone is easily worth $100 a year. What is the Lead Capture System? Well, our design team creates very professional opt-in for you. You know, you don't have to do any web design, you don't have to do anything technical. And when you promote those pages, when people opt in on those very beautiful opt-in pages, that becomes your lead, okay? So it's a lead generation system. It's an autoresponder literally on steroids, because with a regular autoresponder, you have to create your own pages, you have to do everything, you have to do the conversions. We do everything for you. It also helps maintain, because this is evergreen, all the banners that you can use on different websites. It's all the email ad copy that we're going to dynamically change all the time, all the blog articles that we create and give access to you. We do all the marketing funnels for you. A funnel is, you know, somebody comes in as an opt-in lead, then they want to get to know, like, and trust you. And once they trust you and know what this is all about and what you're all about, then they buy from you. So we create the marketing funnels. And one of the biggest things we do for you, and you don't have to worry about it, is we test and tweak all the time based on conversions. Well, what's a good conversion? Well, people who come to your website and visit that website for the very first time, they're going to opt in as a lead. So usually we're offering something for free in exchange for their name and email address. Roughly, our goal is always to get 25 to 30% of the people who visit that page to opt in as a lead, because that's where it all starts. Once we have a name and an email address, we can market to those people. So your affiliate pages, we're always testing and tweaking to get the best conversions possible. So if it's 25%, as an example, that's 1 in 4 people that visit that page will opt in. We're always trying to get it higher. The minimum should be 15%, okay? If you're trying to create your own pages, that's great. 15% is about the minimum. The best I've seen is about 35 to 40%, although they're, you know, in exception, depending on your offer, you might see 50 to 60% of people opt in, meaning 1 in every second person that visits your website is opting in as a lead. So that's what this is all for. We also do PDS, we're doing some offline material. This is to maintain everything for you so that you don't have to worry about any of that, any of the technical stuff, any of the conversions, nothing like that at all. So that's what that fee is. Right now it's $49.95 a year. It will be going up to basically almost $100 per year, okay? Now, here's the key. As a reseller, if you want to collect commissions on any of these consumer-based products, you have to be a product of the product. You have to own that product. So your first fee is the $49, maintains all of this. If you want to resell the health and wellness, okay, which is $100 per year, you have to own the health and wellness product. The health and wellness product is the 7-minute workout. It's all the videos that I've shot. I've done hundreds of videos now, and it's a customized workout and nutritional plan for people who come in there. This is 100% commissionable, but I'll go over the commissions over here in a little while, okay? I just want you to understand how you make money with this, and we'll go, how much do you make with it, okay? So if you want to resell the health and wellness, you have to own the health and wellness. Now, as an example, if you're a reseller and you own the health and wellness product, but you don't own the autoresponder, if somebody in your downline buys the autoresponder, but you don't own it, those commissions are going to pass up to the next individual who actually owns the autoresponder. Now, you can resell one, two, or a combination of all three of these products, okay? So you can, if you want to just resell the health and wellness, you can do that. So you'll pay your $49 per year reseller, you'll pay $100 a year to own the health and wellness, now you can resell that. If you want to just resell the autoresponder, you can do that. You can pay your reseller fee, buy the autoresponder at $24.95 per month, and you can resell the autoresponder. Now, when we look at the Ascension products here, these are our top tier products. These are very important in business, folks, because let's say one click to your website costs 50 cents, okay? That's an average. It can go anywhere from 25 cents all the way to $1.50 to pay for advertising for one click to your website. Now, if we take 25% of those people actually opt in, right, you're looking at about $3 to $4 per lead, okay? Now, if a lead costs you $3 to $4, it's going to take you, it's almost impossible to recoup your money selling a product that's $24.95 because you know, let's say you have a 1 to 2% conversion ratio of a lead to a sale, well, you're going to have to wait many months to get your money back just on advertising. That's just the way advertising works. That's why all companies have Ascension products. Let's look at Apple as an example. I started with just the iPhone. I fell in love with my iPhone so much that I have a desktop. Maybe you can actually show that just for a second, JB. I have a desktop Apple computer there. I have a laptop. I have everything. And that's why Apple has $60 billion in cash. If they only sold you the iPhone for them is probably a loss leader based on all the marketing that they do and all the money that they spend. To acquire you as a customer on the iPhone, they probably don't make any money, but they know you're going to fall in love with that iPhone and as such buy other products, and that's where they make their profits. And it's the same thing with an online business like this. 80% of your profits will come from 20% of the people that buy other products and services from us. Does that make sense, guys? Okay, because you're not asking any questions, that means I'm just beautiful, right?
You're beautiful.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Mike. See, did you hear the sarcasm there? His hairline just started to recede, by the way. We're talking about that earlier. We like that fun, guys. So this is very important. So here's the key to what we're doing. Our Ascension products have a true retail value of nearly $15,000, which is our email marketing mastery. That is everything I've learned about how to generate leads, get those leads to know, like, and trust you, and turn those leads into customers. I've been doing email marketing now for the better of almost 18 years. So you get that course. You also get the Now Body certification course, okay? That's everything that I've been doing for the past 33 years in health and nutrition. I'm actually a certified trainer. I obviously don't use that anymore because I'm in the online world now, but I did all the practical in university and I was my own guinea pig as well. I've been competing in fitness, health and fitness since the age of 16. I started training when I was 11 years old. So you're getting that product as well. And then the one that people are super excited about is our seminar retreat. Our first one's going to be coming up soon in Cabo St. Lucas. That allows you to come on holiday with us. We'll spend about 4 hours a day over the 7 days doing pure education. And then the rest of the day is based on an experience of networking with like-minded people and other people that have made millions of dollars online. And that's where true relationships are made. When you go to an internet marketing event, the true business is done in the lobby. So you have the education in the room, but it's the networking outside of the room that develops new relationships for you, gets you new JV partners. Let me tell you, I've been to so many events now. I just came back from one in Hawaii, and there's a young man, 26 years old, and you know, just looking at him, you wouldn't know who he was. Turns out he's one of the top individuals in digital altitude right now. He travels the world doing literally lifestyle marketing and makes over $100,000 a month. I didn't know that unless I talked to him. So you really want to network when you come to our seminar retreat. So it's an amazing holiday in a tropical environment. It's amazing education, and it's the best networking that you can get to generate relationships and friendships with new JV partners. So all of that combined is literally valued at $15,000. Okay, right here are our Ascension products. I'll talk about 4 and 5 in a sec. Right now, you can get them all for $997. That's the price that we're going at. I know for most right now it's $697, so you might want to take action now. But if you're probably watching this video, chances are it's $997 for the first week that you come in to the business, okay? After a week, the price jumps up to $14.97, and then when we go to the general public, people will be paying the retail pricing on that. You get all of these products. Let's talk about the commissions of these three here, because digital products have a very high profit margin, and as such, with a high profit margin, we can pay a very high commission on that, okay? So if you are a reseller, remember, as a customer, you can come in and buy any of these products. That's okay. You don't need to be a reseller. But if you decide you want to become a reseller and collect commissions on these, you pay your reseller licensing fee here, and this is how the commissions work. So the best thing to do is if you buy all the products, if you invest in all the products, then it's the one-time fee of $997. It gives you all these products here. It also gives you the autoresponder, and then your only monthly fee is $24.95. It even gives you the health and wellness product for the first year. So the $100 for the health and wellness is covered in your Ascension product model here. Next year, a year later, if you choose you want to keep it, you'll pay the $100. But it's basically, if you go with the Ascension product model, it includes this, this, and this for the very first year. You're only paying $24.95 per month from that point on. To run an international health and wellness software automation business for $25 a month, guys, you can't even buy a lawnmower for that. You'd still have to spend $300 a month advertising your lawnmower business, right? Even a lemonade stand. So for $25 a month, you've got an international business. Now let's talk to you about how you get paid. Let's say you go all in with the Ascension product model, right? Now you qualify to collect commissions on anything and everything that we're doing. So if somebody comes in and buys that, and you are a reseller, okay? Somebody comes in and buys the health and wellness, you're gonna get commissions on that. This is how you get paid over here. So on the health and wellness product, you're getting 50% direct to you. So the minute somebody spends $100, you're gonna get $50 year after year. It's not just the one time. If they maintain a customer a year later, you're gonna get 50%, so you're gonna get $50. But you're also gonna get a 50% matching check from people below you who sell the same product. What does that mean? Well, if I signed up Blake and he becomes a reseller and he sells the health and wellness product, let's say he gets a commission check 1 month for $1,000 because he sold, it would be 20 of the health and wellness at 50%, right? I'm going to get a 50% matching check of what he made off of that product. So if Blake made $1,000, I'm going to get the money that I made myself for the 50%, but because he made $1,000, I get a $500 matching check, or 50% of what he made off of that product. Now, it doesn't stop just at Blake. Maybe I signed up Roger and I signed up Jill, so maybe collectively they each made $1,000 with their own efforts. That's $3,000. I get a matching check from all of them, true leveraged income. Now I'm going to get a check for $1,500. Make sense, guys? So that's product one. Here's where the simplicity of this comes, folks. All of our digital products, you get a 50% direct commission. So when people say, how do I make money? Well, anything that you sell, you're going to get 50%. So you're going to get 50% of the $100. You're going to get 50% of the $24.95, which is 12. Well, let's just call it $12.50, or no, $12, $12.02, whatever last, $12. Okay, guys. So, but that's monthly. So you're going to get $12 every month from those people. And then the Ascension products as well. When somebody invests at $997, you're going to get 50% of that. You're going to get $450 in commissions to you. Okay? So everything, when you're trying to explain how do people get paid on this business model, well, we have very high commissionable upfront commissions. You get paid instantly when people buy those products. Okay? So 50% across the board on everything right here. And now I want to transition over. Those are your quick, upfront, very good commissions. I want to talk to you about the long-term binary commissions, because the other 50%, okay, some of it's profit for the company. Obviously, we have to stay in profit, but most of our profits, folks, come from here, the reseller fee, because it's non-commissionable, right? This is to guarantee that we stay in business and so forth. So 50% of everything that we sell on the digital side goes right into your pocket for life, as long as those people stay as customers. Make sense so far, guys? Got a single question? Mike, please, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Blake.
One question, Mr. Therien. Is on the Ascension products, does that include the matching check bonus?
No.
Okay.
No, the matching check bonus is only on the health and wellness because this is a true, when you look at this, true 100% payout. Okay? If we're paying out 100% on everything, we wouldn't make any money. Because, 70% of the people that come in will probably come in as a customer only. So that means we're running on a 30% reseller fee. So that's a good question. The only product that's 100% upfront is the health and wellness. Everything else is 50%, okay, as far as the total payout. But where a lot of the revenue that comes on the other 50% feeds the binary commissions here, as do the offline products, okay? So when you look at this type of commission plan where you're getting 50% upfront, 50% matching checks, and very good commissions across the board, that's really good instant money, okay? Now, I want people to understand what creates such a wonderful hybrid of both offline products and online products is basically this. If you look at an offline network marketing company that sell tangible products, I don't want to name any names here, but we all know offline network marketing companies that sell tangible products or offline products. So there's a lot of companies that are in the nutritional, health space with nutrition products, apparel, some are cosmetics, some are whatever. Understand this, because offline products have a very high upfront cost. You can usually only sell these, okay, these offline products and collect a binary commission. You don't see any of this because they only sell offline products. This is important, guys, so does that make sense? We are the first hybrid that are welcoming the online marketing community with great digital products that obviously when it's software and digital products have a very high profit margin. But we're also going to the old school network marketers who say, I just don't get this online world yet. I don't sell, how am I selling air? They feel like if I'm selling an autoresponder, I might be selling some air. I'm not quite sure what I'm doing. There's a lot of network marketers today that prefer offline products because they become demonstratable products. So we have the home workout system. That's, maybe we can cut in, JB, of a couple of just right now showing the home workout system from our other videos. This is a great product for that offline network marketer because if you become a product in the product and you start looking healthier, you start feeling better, you might have a neighbor that goes, hey, you're looking great, you lost some weight, you look more toned, what are you doing? Well, come on over and I'll show you my home workout system that I bought, right? And so that becomes an easily demonstratable product, and it only weighs like 3 or 4 pounds, so it's highly portable too. So you could easily, and offline network marketers love this, you could bring a few people over to your home, demonstrate the home workout system, and that's a way of getting people into your business. A lot of those offline marketers are like, how do I sell a autoresponder? I don't, I need something that I can give them. So there's that. We also have the nutritional supplements. So we have the protein powder. So another way of demonstrating the nutritional supplements is you can tell somebody here, I want you to drink this protein shake for breakfast tomorrow, and I'll guarantee that your overall appetite's going to go down the rest of the day. So is it okay? Can I give you a sample? You try it tomorrow. Tell me if you like the taste. And if your appetite got a little more suppressed, let me know. So again, another highly demonstratable product that you can use offline. And of course, for just the marketing, we've got all the apparel that are coming. So we've got t-shirts, golf shirts, fitness wear, spandex pants, tank tops, sports bras, everything, hats, cap, anything that you can think of. We're going to have, and again, people might see you in a nice outfit and it's got our logo on it. They might say, well, what's this Now Lifestyle logo? Well, again, another way into the business, okay? So understand, most offline network marketing companies sell this kind of stuff only, and it only creates binary commissions. Here's the pro and con to a binary, okay? They're actually really simple, but for the newbie, sometimes it seems complex. The downside to a binary is it takes a while to build up a team. But the positive side of that is once you start building a team, it grows very, very quickly. So it usually takes about a month or two if you're working the business. Now, if you do nothing, nothing happens. We know that, right? But if you're working the business, it usually takes a month or two to start seeing true leverage. And a binary just means that. It means 2, right? You can only put 2 people on the first level. So let's talk about that just for a second. So if this is you in here, and you sign up somebody, well, let's talk about one more person about, let's say, let me do it right, guys. So, this is Blake, this is you, okay? Let's say you go out and you find two people. Here's how you position or present a binary plan. Your responsibility in this industry is to go out and find two resellers. That's it. Then your other responsibility is to help those two resellers find two resellers, and then you're done. And then the business builds itself. Why is that? Well, this is you. You have what's called a, can you still see, JB? A left leg and a right leg. You can't put more than two people on that level. So if this is Blake, and he's got you as one, and he's got somebody else filled up right here, if he signs up somebody else, because most people do find more than two, then that creates what's called spillover, and that's going to fall right here. If you find another person, well, you can't put it on your first level, so you can either decide to put it in the next available position, which might be here, you might want to place that person here, so on and so forth. So that's really up to you what you want to do. But what a binary does, binary like bicycle, in other words, only two wheels or two people on the first level, is it causes massive growth in depth very, very quickly. Does that make sense, guys? Right? Because if you can only have two people on the first level, it's forcing people down and down and down and down. Okay? So that initially takes some time, because you need about 5 to 6 motivated people, and then when those 5 or 6 are motivated, then it really grows, because then they find motivated people and so forth. That's the condo binary. It takes a little bit of time to get that going, but once you do have those 5 or 6, it just keeps growing, and it can grow very, very, very quickly, okay? But understand what makes us unique. You don't have to wait 2 to 3 months, because people are impulsive. People want that instant gratification. They want that instant result. That instant result comes from here, because you're getting instantly 50% commissions on all the digital products. So what feeds this binary to pay commissions for truly long-term residual income? So remember, you're getting 50% of the autoresponder. Another 30 to 40% of that autoresponder monthly payment is feeding the binary commissions, okay? So when you bring in resellers, when you bring in customers, maybe this is important as well, since you guys are asking so many questions. I love it, you know? I hope I'm really good, or I'm really boring, and oh, he was snoring, so I don't know. Anyway, guys, here's another important point. Only resellers are in the business or are in the binary itself, okay? So all these people that fall in this whole business opportunity like this have to be resellers. So if this is Jill right here, Jill, nobody in her upline or downline are going to see her customers. So she might have off to the side Blake right here, who might be using a protein powder, he might be using the home workout system, he might have bought the autoresponder, doesn't matter. Blake is a customer, so he is not in the business matrix, but 50% of the commission goes to Jill, okay? Now, if Blake decides, he might go, wow, I love this autoresponder. You mean I can make money with it too? What he can do is he can then, even though he's only a customer, pay the reseller licensing fee anytime he wants to. And now Jill has the ability, which is called your holding tank, to place. So let's say Jill does have a bit of a downline here. And let's say this is Jill's friend Lisa. And Lisa's not a member yet. And Lisa's sitting on the fence. She's like 90% convinced that she's there. Jill can say, well, listen, Blake just joined last night. He's in what's called my holding tank. If you sign up right now as a reseller, Lisa, I will place Blake directly underneath you. So there's a 36-hour holding tank. So as new resellers come in, their direct sponsor has up to 36 hours to place them anywhere they choose in their tree. So that's a real strong leverage tool to get people who are sitting on the fence. Because if Lisa says, you know, just give me till tomorrow, well, no, listen, Lisa, if you join right now, there's Blake who's already committed, and I'll take Blake and I'll put them right here. Creates real strong sense of urgency, a real strong sense of, well, hey, I've got my first recruit already. Why not, right? So customers, when you have customers, only the person who's selling that customer sees those people. The downline itself is built through resellers themselves. So this is how you get paid. This is the most exciting part of a binary. As I already mentioned, because you can only have 2 people on your first level, they grow in depth very quickly. They can go down and down and down and down and down. I've seen binaries go down thousands, literally thousands of levels, okay, on both sides. Now, they grow very quickly. Now, the way you should build your binary is always the outside leg, because the people on the inside, it's their responsibility to build the inside by building only their outside leg. It's the best way of leveraging it. Build one side down on the outside, the other side down on the outside, okay? It's just a tactic to use. Maybe I can do another video on why that's important, but that's how most professionals build their binaries. They want to build it as deep as they can, as quickly as they can. Now, here's what's cool about a binary. You don't get paid on levels. A lot of companies say, okay, well, let's say we pay down 4 levels, 5 levels. Okay, let's say this is not a binary and it's 10% per level. So 10%, 10%, 10%. Let's go one more 10%. So that would be like 50%, well, 10, 20, 40% total payout. What happens if Roger's been sitting around for a while? He wants to see what the company's going to do because he's a professional in network marketing and he knows that his reputation's on the line. So he wants to see and he wants to feel out how the company's going to do. But then all of a sudden he decides, you know what? I see they're heading in the right direction. I want to join. Now, what happens is if you get paid on levels and this is Roger, well, if this is Blake and Blake referred Roger or even somebody else, now it doesn't matter what type of business Roger builds, because he's out of the compensation plan. You can work your butt off, Roger, and Blake doesn't make any money if it's a conventional 10% per level, okay? Binaries don't work that way. Our binary doesn't work that way. Our binary works based on total volume in your downline. So it means it doesn't matter if somebody's on level 1 or, let's just do a big arrow, level 500, okay? You get paid as a distributor or a reseller in the exact same way that the company makes money. In other words, our revenue is made on the total volume of gross to net profits, right? You get paid the same way. The more people you have in your downline, the more money is made in your downline, the more you get paid a percentage on the total volume in your downline. So it doesn't, what's so lovely about this is it doesn't matter if it's somebody on your level 1 or your level 500. If you bring in a new person and they're on level 500, you will make the same amount of money from that person's efforts as if they were on your level 1. Does that make sense? Because that's where a lot of people get confused. Okay? So you're just getting paid on total volume, and this is how you get paid. Okay? It's called based on to $20 per cycle. A cycle is this. Every time you have 2 people on one side and 4 people on another, 1, 2, 3, 4, it's called 2/3, 1/3. You get paid $20. Okay? So you can cycle as many times as you want in a month, and that's why as it grows, you start to make more and more and more money because there's more and more people duplicating and more people building the business. So in other words, it's just a factor of 2 to 4. So if it was 20/40, you'd make $200. If it's, 200/400, you'd make $2,000. But it's got to be on a 2 to 4 split. So the weak leg is called the pay leg. Okay, so what do I mean by that? And this helps to create breakage for the company to make money. Let's say there's lots of one side's just growing like a weed, but you only get 2 here. If you have this and this, Roger, based on 4 and 2, and I'm going to ask this question to you guys, how much money are you going to make? Yep.
$20.
Yep. Because it's got to be based on the 4 and 2. So right there is your cycle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now, this volume that's being generated, most companies will flush it, saying a month later, you're not going to get that money. We don't flush it. So we calculate what your cycle is, but as an incentive for you, like in other words, if you've got like 700 people down here that you're not getting paid on, what's that going to incentivize you to do? Think about it. If you've got 2 people here, but 700 here, Jill had the right answer. Exactly. It's going to say, well, geez, if I can get a 2-4 split here, I'm going to go out here and find as many people as I can. Now, you're getting paid 2/3 more based on the 1/3 of the effort that you did here. Okay? That's why this is called the pay leg, and this is called the strong leg or the power leg. You're always getting paid on the weaker leg volume. But this gets banked for you to infinity. So let's say you finally balance this out where you meet the 700 people. Let's say it took you 6 months. You're going to get 6 cycles per person, not 1 cycle. So now your next check, because you went and worked your butt off for a month or 2, is going to be huge.
So you just need to do 1/3 of the work, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Blake's question was you only have to do, or statement was you only have to do 1/3 of the work. That's absolutely true. Okay? So it's the offline products, okay? Because there's not a lot of, there's less profit here. There's more hard costs to shipping, handling, producing. It's the offline products, and roughly 40% of what we're not paying out on the digital products that feed this binary commission, okay? Now to protect us, okay, to protect us as a company, the reason why we say up to $20 per cycle, as long as the company is not paying out more than 60% of their gross revenue in commissions, you're going to get $20. However, a lot of binaries have paid themselves out of business literally because these things explode, okay? There's some companies that went from nothing to $1 billion in 1 year, literally. But then they were out of business, and here's why. When you build very large downlines very quickly, it can mean a massive amount of commissions to people. And a lot of companies don't put in this fail-safe, and the fail-safe is, for us, we say up to $20, and here's why. Is as long as we don't pay out more than 60% total, then you're going to get $20. If we start paying more than that, then you get a factorial of that. So 1 month, your commissions might be like $17 per cycle, okay? And we're very upfront about this now, you know, and then the next month we might sell a lot more of the nutritional products, so that will bring the total revenue up, and now you're back to $20 per cycle. The reason is for that is if we guarantee $20 per cycle, we've seen companies, you know, after doing this for the better of 16 years old, they pay themselves out of business because it does get paid on total volume in your downline. So what would you rather have? A guaranteed residual income, or a company that, yeah, you're making great money, but they can't even afford to stay in business anymore because they're paying too much commissions, right? So that's why we put that in there. And what helps to keep it at $20 per cycle is more sales of each of the products. And right now on the nutritional supplement line, we're coming out with just 3 or 4 core products. As we grow, we'll add more and more products in there. It'll generate more and more revenue and help pay you a guaranteed $20 per cycle more and more often. So we've run other companies like this, and people prefer that. So what I mean by that is 1 month your binary might be $5,200 because we didn't pay out more than 60%. The next month your binary, even though your tree grew a bit, might be only $4,800, and that's because we hit that 60% threshold, and so we had to cut back on the actual amount for the per cycle in the binary. Any questions, guys?
No. Sir.
You got something? I have one to say.
Sure.
So if you paid the $49.95, once the reseller goes up to $99.97, are they going to be tied into $49.95?
Yeah, the ones who are $49.95 now will be tied in per year at $49.95, grandfathered.
Okay, awesome. And also, if they paid the all-in, they still have to purchase a reseller.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because this is where most of our profits are. If you do not pay the reseller fee, licensing fee, you are a customer and a customer only. So the only difference that makes somebody a customer or a reseller is if they choose to pay the reseller fee, at that moment, like we talked about on the binary here, they might be over here as a customer shown in your downline because they're your customers. Now you can go and place them in the business side of things anywhere that you want to place them. And that's the same goes for anybody you join. That holding tank is always there as leverage for you to decide where you want to place your people. And that's a real recruiting tool because, again, you know, you might have me and I'm like, well, Roger, give me till tomorrow. And you might say, well, have you ever heard of Blake? Like, he's really good at this. I'm like, yeah, I've heard of Blake. He's like a rock star in the business, you know? Tell you what, if you commit and sign up now, I'll put Blake underneath you first thing tomorrow morning. Oh, wow, okay, yeah, sign me up, you know? So that's what creates real leverage and real teamwork. So the only difference, again, guys, between a customer and a reseller is the reseller has paid the reseller licensing fee. Then and only then do they become part of the business opportunity in the matrix.
And the all-in does not include the autoresponder? You have to pay that monthly? You
still have to pay the monthly, but it includes this for the first year, okay? And now, it doesn't, you know, like if you only have the health and wellness product, you're a reseller and you only own the health and wellness, and somebody in your downline buys the Ascension products, you've lost that commission to somebody above you who owns those Ascension products. So by being, you know, an all-in member, now you qualify on everything. You qualify if somebody buys only the health and wellness, you qualify if people buy only the autoresponder, or these, or a combination of all three. Again, other people will go all in, and you'll get commissions on everything. And the all-in also includes the commissions on the offline products as well. Any other questions, guys?
No, that was good for me.
Jill, Blake?
No.
Go ahead.
I have one question. Say on your binary, you know, I signed up Roger, and then Blake was put under Roger, but then Roger quits. So does Blake?
You can't compress a binary. So it doesn't matter. So in your tree, you'll have some people that are inactive. We don't have this feature yet, but if you're the original sponsor, you'll be able to take somebody else and put them in that position. Okay? You can't compress a binary. Like, you can't push it up because then, you know, if there's already 2 on that level, you try to compress it. Now there's 3 on that level, which you can't do. So when people, that's a good question, when people go inactive, it becomes an available spot for the direct sponsor. Now, so in other words, if this is Blake, and this is you, Jill, right here, and you signed up Lisa here, and Lisa quits, Blake cannot place somebody here because he's not the original sponsor. Only you can place somebody there because you were the original sponsor. Okay. Good question. Alrighty, guys, so a couple of good questions came up. The first question was, do you have to do any shipping? No. On all the offline products, we will ship the products directly to your customer. However, it's always a good idea to have a little bit more of the offline products just so that you can use them as demonstratable products. Have a few extra proteins, have a few of the essential fatty acids, all the nutritional supplements. You have a little extra around, you can distribute those out, and that's a real good recruiting tool. And then on the home workout system, there is a 20% direct commission if you sell the home workout system as well, but not on everything else. Everything else feeds the binary commissions itself. So there wasn't any other questions, guys. If there are questions, just post them below here. We'll get to you as soon as we can. So Roger, Blake, Jill, thank you. It was a new pair of eyes. I hope this really gives you the overall vision of this amazing business, guys. We've got high-end commissions on the front end, long-term massive commissions on the back end. We're covering the online world with the online marketers. We're covering the offline world with the marketers that like to do it belly to belly. This is something that's really been a passion project of mine for 5 years. I'm super excited for you guys. Again, if you have any questions, post them below. But take action now because this is going to explode. Talk to you guys again soon. Bye for now.